This is our experiment for the double replacement precipitation lab. This is day 2 of our chemical reaction labs. And what you can see here is already half of the reagents are already set up. Going across from left to right in the very top column is lithium chloride. So there's a couple of drops of lithium chloride. It looks like just any clear solution. The second row, we have copper chloride. Third is zinc chloride. The fourth one is strontium chloride. And then our last one is barium chloride. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add the reagents that are going down a column. So sodium bromide, sodium carbonate, sodium phosphate, sodium sulfate, and our sodium hydroxide. And I'll stir to kind of make sure that we give it an opportunity to go through its reaction if there is one. Your task is to write your observation on the table. And for this one, if there is a reaction, it should be pretty evident, but we'll also give it a little bit of time. Especially it takes a while for me to go through all of the mixing of this. All right, I'm going to start with our sodium bromide. So what I'll do is add all the way down a column. Sodium bromide is another clear solution. Same thing with our copper chloride, just a couple of drops. I'm trying not to touch our reagent because I don't want to cross-contaminate it. Okay, so currently we finished our sodium bromide. The next one will be our sodium carbonate. So again, 2 drops. For some of these things, it's going to be pretty evident. All right, I'm going to pause for right now, just to kind of point out, for some of it, I could see already that there are changes. But one thing that I need to kind of remind you is that we have a white background. So what I'll do at the end is remove that paper. So you're going to have to keep track of the columns and the rows. And then we could determine whether or not a precipitate forms. So that's the evidence that we're looking for this lab. All right, our third column would be sodium phosphate. Okay. Fourth one would be sodium sulfate. I picked up an empty container there. There we go, this one's full. All right, and our last one is sodium hydroxide. One of our strong bases we often use quite a lot in many of our activities. Just trying to find one that has a lot of it, so you don't have to refill this one. Okay. All right, so we have all of our reagents added. Our task again is to make sure that we look for a precipitate. So I'm just returning all of the solution that we used. I'm going to slowly remove the template below, the white paper, to give us better contrast. You're looking for evidence of precipitate. 1 second here. Okay, so just to recap, first row we mix sodium bromide with the 5 chloride reagents or solutions that we have. I don't see any evidence of precipitate. It's hard for you, maybe on your video you can't quite see it, but it looks like clear solution. For the second column now, we're dealing with sodium carbonate with all the different chlorides that were combined with it. I don't see anything on the very first one, the one for sodium carbonate and lithium chloride. I do see evidence from below that point on. So copper chloride, zinc chloride, strontium chloride and barium chloride. It looks like there's evidence. It's milky. It's almost looks like there's some coagulated kind of milk in there. Now for the third column, I don't see anything in the very top. I do see evidence of precipitate from that portion down, so from copper chloride all the way to barium chloride. Now for the sodium sulfate, the fourth column here, I don't see anything for the first three. I do see precipitate for the last two, for strontium chloride and barium chloride. And then for sodium hydroxide, nothing for the very top. I do see evidence of precipitate on, this is copper chloride, a little bit on zinc chloride, but there's still significant enough that we can point it out. Strontium chloride and barium chloride. All right, so that is our data. Record that in your table and answer the rest of the question.